Hey guys, alrighty, so today is CPI day. We got our data. We'll call it good data. It's kind of an interesting set of data though, because basically, from what I'm understanding, reading about this, is that because we had the government shutdown and we didn't get that other data, they essentially just said the data was zero, which means that nothing happened. So the way they're measuring these metrics are quite interesting and not fairly accurate, to say the least. But with that being said, a 2.7% CPI year over year is a pretty big drop. Like I was talking about in my TA last night, this was a big number for today, because if we would have been over 3%, that would have likely signaled, obviously, that inflation is still out of control, and would have been our highest level in about a year and a half. So now instead, 3% seems to be our max level, and now we're coming back down again. Of course, with a weaker economy, with unemployment going up, this also opens up the opportunity now for a dovish Fed. So now the Fed has essentially real data to go off of, and with this real data, it shows that they can be dovish and that we can continue to cut rates. So the next meeting is in January on the 28th, so that will be a big day to watch. We will get one more CPI reading sometime in probably middle of January, and that will be kind of confirmation or not of whether or not the Fed can be dovish. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Today, looking at the daily, on ES, we came down to that 50 EMA support. Very impressive yesterday at 67.79. Big bounce now today on CPI. Now we're right back at the 8 and 20 EMA resistance here, pretty much at the high day at the 68.40 level. So, again, the question is, like all the other data, are we going to hold this and see a massive pushback up to, maybe 68.90, or are we going to reject? On NQ, we had lost 50 EMA support yesterday, and we're actually starting to look at the 100 EMA support. And today we have retaken 50, and now we're coming in just under our 8 and 20 EMA resistance of 25.3, about 335 to 25.400 area. So again, same thing. Are we going to push higher, or are we going to, much like we did yesterday and also on Tuesday's data, are we going to find a big rejection as soon as market opens? The VIX did sell off initially on the data at 8:30, but if you look at the VIX, it has held steady. We are down about 5.45%, and it hasn't really gone much lower than that. So this will be an interesting open to see if the market is going to take this data and really, really run with it, or if we're going to find a major rejection back to the downside. So I expect, obviously, a bit of volatility this morning, so certainly be careful with your entries. But up to the upside here, we got 68.55 and 25.319 to 25.334 that I'm watching as our possible next upside level. I would say if we start to break under 68.28 and 25.230, we'll call it 222, likely we could see this whole CPI move erased. So again, just kind of being patient here. It appears right now we are holding 15-minute 8 or 5 EMA support. So again, that's bullish. We are in an uptrend. So again, that kind of puts this 68.35 now and 28.250 as our critical support, as we look like we're about to make that move to 25.320 to 25.334 area. So again, 319 and 334. That's my kind of first rejection spot here. We could blast through this, and then we got 415 area. So strong, pretty strong push here, to be honest. We do have some, obviously, buyers here. They are aggressive on NQ. Okay, VX and VIX just made a big leg down here, so they were holding, like I said, flat. Now we actually have a pretty decent gap down on VIX, so that supports the upside here. ES and NQ are both running together. Again, upside is looking pretty solid. I would like to see this 5-minute close, maybe get a small pullback, and then we can think about a long. But there certainly is obviously upside here. Again, we're in a big resistance level, so that is obviously a little concerning to take a long right now. But also the fact that, you know, this is still opening candles, so just being careful. But overall, upside looks pretty good. We are seeing a little bit of a pullback off this 320 level here, so I'll be interested to see where this 5-minute closes. We got about a minute and a half here. It might take it down. If they take it down, that could start a little bit of a downside move here. So definitely, again, being careful, just keeping an eye on where we're heading here. Again, now if we get this 5-minute red candle here and we start to break through at least 25,250, preferably 25,222, there should be a pretty decent downside move to come. On VX, we got a big bounce to the upside, big wick to the downside now. VIX is starting a little bit of that upside move, but it's still actually in a downtrend, so got to be careful there. We lost our buyers here. Okay, let's see where this candle goes. See if they immediately pop it back up, write it back to 320 or 319, or if we're going to see kind of 280 would be a nice spot to kind of touch and reject for potential continuation lower. I am liking the short though. Okay, touching that key 25,248. Bounced right off 248. Let's see where we go here. No buyers, so favor is to the downside. We could go touch 280 like I was saying though first, but I am liking a short here, but we want to play out the upside a little bit first. All right, I'm going to take the short. For some reason, only, that's weird. Well, One of my positions got in, everybody else did not, unfortunately, but that's okay. So one of my accounts is looking good. Okay, so got stopped out there pretty much at break even. I still like the downside. Oh, no, well, that's unfortunate. Now the other one's filled, so hold on. Well, we'll play it out. We'll play it out. I still like it, honestly. So, that's annoying that that happened. Okay, downside does look good. Again, 25,248. I'm looking for 25,222 area for our potential next move to the downside here. VIX is making its way up. VX is pushing up now. Again, we're about to flip over to 5-minute sellers. Really nice doji double top on the 15-minute time frame. This is a solid A+ setup here. Let's see if we can get a big move down. 225 is kind of the level I'd like to be at. That would be me passing on my evals and also hitting a nice daily profit goal. So see what we get here. Got about a minute and a half to close here. I do think we're going to come down and touch. We're going to pull this back up because I like it so much. Come on, baby. Go right into her. See if we get it. Almost there. Almost there. A couple more points. So close. Now we'll do break even. So my TP's at 25 and the low is 28. There it is. Nice. All right. Good hit. Good hit. Okay, so just passed all my evals there and hit on all but one account. A nice win on the day there. So we'll still need to go back for another win here on that account, but overall, great play. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to go back in. I got to make sure I don't screw my copier up because I am notorious for that. Let's see here. We will go back again for another play on the other account because it obviously did not get a win. Well, it's up $100, but that's not good enough because, you know, consistency and stuff. So the other ones are looking great, though. So, okay, so we did break through 222. We are playing out a really nice rejection here now. So this opens up, if we close, which we just did under 222, this does open up a potential that we're going to go much lower and give up this whole move. Okay, I'm back in here, just one account. Actually, that's not the right account, so hold on. Yeah, that was a quick little 200-point scalp there, but that was the wrong account, unfortunately. Okay, now I'm in. That's weird. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it definitely didn't fill me when it should have. That's a really crappy fill. Wow. That's unfortunate. I'm going to get stopped out. Huh. Okay, anyways, well, got stopped out in that one, so no big deal. But still liking the downside here. We might go back up, maybe test 240 area first. We actually are bringing in aggressive sellers here. So this looks good to the downside still.
Order filled.
Okay, back in. Just one account. Again, remember, just one account. I'm only in the account that was left out. Everybody else is locked up. I'm not touching them. I'm not making the same mistake as yesterday. I'm just letting this one do its thing. Okay. See how much we can get here. Again, I'm looking for potentially 68.15 and 25.141. Probably going to get, okay, so I took 20 points there. Well, 15 points there, sorry. So back in the green on the day. Man, I haven't been calculating. So I usually track all my entries and stuff pretty much like as soon as I'm in them. It just kind of really helps me with keeping track of everything I'm doing. But oof, I have not been doing that today. And going back and doing it later is not fun. Okay, let's see here. Thank you, Holo. That was a good play, definitely. Well executed. Just trying to, again, kind of get where we need to be here on everything. So I'm trying to catch up with my plays here. So I'm just sort of, not sidelined, but I'm definitely taking a little breather here real quick. Let's see here. So NQ is holding up much better than ES. ES is actually looking really weak compared to NQ. Actually, I think what I'll do is after the stream, I'll just go back through and check my positions, and that'll be easier. Okay, so we got 15 minutes to close here, or sorry, not 15 minutes, 45 seconds. We are going to get a new supply up here at 25,280 and 68.40. We're closing under that 68.29 and 25,222 level I was talking about at open. So we really did everything. We went up, we touched resistance that I mentioned, and then now we're coming back under that resistance area. So now it looks like the chance to give up this whole CPI move is forming right now. We might go higher, but 22 right here is a big level to watch. I'm looking for, again, another short here. If we blast through 230, likely we could go even higher to 240. We have very aggressive sellers, so the downside is certainly, obviously, the potential here of what I would look for. I would not really think this is a long opportunity. There's zero buyers to justify a long right here, but at the same time, I want the upside to play out again. Like I said, I want the upside to play out before I take the short, just like we did in that first one. Okay, I'm in. So again, 25,157 area to 25,148 would be first target here.
Order filled.
We'll throw a second con on it. Looks good enough here for a little bit more downside. Let's see, so I need... Ooh, little fake out there, unfortunately. Okay, so now we're playing on a double bottom here on the 15 minute. So that was a really strong opportunity for the Bears there, but they definitely let that one go. So now the potential move that we look for is back to the 5 minute ORB at 25,256 and 68.37. This is what I hate sometimes about the copiers, is that they really do just, when one account misses the really A-plus setup plays, it really does affect things. I really hate it. So, again, I'm down a little bit more. Oh, I guess I forgot about the daily loss limit on this account. So I'm definitely down a little bit more here than I'd like to be. See if we can get this to reject and push lower here and try to get back in another short. Okay, trying again here. Not a lot of drawdown, so hopefully this is a big push real fast here. Again, only one account here, so if it unfortunately stops us out, it's not the end of the world, but I would obviously like to see it not stop us out. ES and NQ are both setting up here. They look like they did the stop loss hunt, so we'll see what they can do here, if they can take this in a big way lower.
Order filled.
Hopefully this keeps going. I'm at break even right now. If I close out, I need about right here, I think, for daily goal. But this is a good win to get me back. Okay, so this gets me back down about 400 bucks. Gets me, excuse me, gets me some wiggle room here too. Yeah, Holo, I am surprised. I'm not surprised they released any data. But like I said, when I first started stream here, they definitely really fabricated this data to kind of fit their narrative, that's for sure. Again, we still have very aggressive sellers. 25,207 is pretty much our resistance to watch here. VX and VIX are both pushing up. Again, I like the downside. I'm going to take it. They're very bouncy with it, though. They're doing their best to hold it up, but again, 207 there. That's our resistance. That's right where our stop loss is at. So hopefully we don't actually touch it. But if we do, again, bigger upside to potentially 222 for upside. But again, downside targets at least 158, if not 148, and eventually down to about 100 area.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Quick break even here because I added a con. That's okay. Got stopped out. No biggie. We are now seeing a little rejection on VX and VIX to the upside, but again, stronger sellers, aggressive sellers. We are sitting pretty much on 15-minute 20 EMA resistance at the low of this 15-minute candle. So this is a big level to watch. We did come up, look at that, right to 222. That's that level I told you to watch. So again, I'm glad I set that break even because obviously we came up and that would have hurt a little bit. So we'll see if they take this back up here now. They might hold this up for the end of this 5-minute candle and then double bottom us down, or this could potentially start the recovery higher. I will potentially keep a long in my back pocket, but I really don't see it with sellers the way they're sitting right now. Okay, so big rejection here on VX and VIX. It matches the double bottom on ES and ES and NQ. So being careful here now of the downside not playing out. But again, I cannot justify a long here right now because we're pushing up, or we have such aggressive sellers on NQ. So this is a good spot to kind of sit here. Let's see where this 5-minute candle closes. If it holds under 256 and 68, 38, 36 area, I do think it brings it back down. Again, I think they might pull out a double top. If we close over 37 and 256 though, then I gotta put pushing back to all-time highs, or not all-time highs, high day, into the cards here. So again, just kind of being patient. I'm down about 400 in just this one account. Everybody else looks great. Everybody else is either at daily goal or the eval has been passed. So again, just being patient, not pushing it here on this last eval. So we did just barely close over it. So the odds are upside here potentially now. There's still a big potential double top though that could play out here. So I just looked at my lucid evals for consistency. I'm off by about $74, unfortunately. So I am going to have to do something about that.
Order submitted. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. So ES is actually looking quite stronger here compared comparatively to NQ. NQ looks a little weaker here. VX and VIX are falling, so again, I'm favoring the push here.
Order submitted. Order filled. Connection lost. Target. Target filled.
I'm just trying to fill some money here on my my Lucid so I can get my eval actually passed.
Order filled. Target filled.
See, okay, that should have been enough to pass those. Oh wait, I think I made too much. Did I make too much?
Order submit. Order filled.
Okay, I took a long. This is on my Tradeify, the one that needs a little bit more green here.
Order submitted. Order filled.
So VX and VIX are still pushing lower. We actually have 15-minute buyers coming in now. ES is breaking through the morning supply and resistance of 68.40. NQ is attempting to get through 25.280, which is that matching resistance. It has not quite done it yet, but it looks like it wants to. That would take us up to potentially 25.330 and 68.55 area.
Order filled. Stop filled.
The stops were for my Lucid evals. That's okay. I'm still in this play here.
Connection lost. Order filled. Stop filled.
Okay, just got stopped out there. We're starting to make a wick now. I don't know if I fully trust it. We still have buyers. VX and VIX is still pushing lower. So, I mean, I really do still like the upside. But man, that double top right here forming is looking really, really nice.
Order filled.
All right, I decided to take it.
Order filled. Order filled.
Again, some of these other orders you're hearing is just my evals. I'll let you know. You can see my actual account that I'm trading up there.
Order canceled.
All right, unfortunately, I got daily lost on that one right there. Just didn't work out. So, I'll call it a good day, though. I mean, all my other accounts did hit pretty strong here. Again, just unfortunately, that one got left out of the copier, and when that happens, sometimes this is what happens, unfortunately. So, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day. I will be trading on the Tradeify stream, so keep your eye out for that. I will try to post a link in the morning for that for you guys. So, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.